Howdy folks, I'm Lost Least Skipper, languidly looping around lively lilacs.
I'm Amber.
And here are more lively lilacs for us to loop around, but they're Reddit stories and it was all just a giant mess and a misunderstanding. And folks, if this is your first time here or you're a new subscriber, welcome. This is a show where we hide random items around your house for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, we don't know where you live, yeah, we definitely don't hide random items around your house.
You're right, we don't. So let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Hiding a Couch from My Roommate That's Trying to Sell It? I live in a house with 4 roommates, and about a year ago, roommate A got a really nice sectional couch from her work for free. It ended up being worth $7,000, which was ridiculous, and we all were really grateful. We had to rent a U-Haul in order to move it, which roommate N ended up paying for, driving and coordinating. But myself and roommate A helped physically move the couch with N. In order to cover the cost of the U-Haul, $200, roommate N sold our old couch. Once we all moved out, we would sell the nice couch and split the profits. Now, roommate N is moving out before the rest of us and is planning on taking and selling the couch. I only found out because I saw it listed on Facebook for $2,000 and they didn't tell us their plan. Roommate N is claiming that the couch is theirs because they paid for the U-Haul, and apparently the old couch only sold for $55, which didn't cover the cost. They didn't ask to be reimbursed a year ago, and is refusing to let us pay them back the $150 or even $200 now. They're digging in their heels so hard and just bent on taking the couch. Am I the jerk for planning on moving the couch with roommate A into a storage unit while they're away until they move out, leaving them $200 in cash instead? Update, the plan is in action to move the couch into a storage unit later today. Thank you for all the validation. I'm nervous about N's reaction, but I guess we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Gonna leave $200 on the floor where the couch should be. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Definitely not the jerk. First of all, roommate A is the one who obtained the couch in the first place, so roommate A is the only one who gets to decide what happens to the couch.
Yeah.
If roommate N takes the couch and sells it, that is theft. Roommate N can't just be like, well, I've decided that because I paid for the U-Haul, this couch is now mine. That's not how these things work.
No, I don't think that that's how it works at all. The only complicating factor I see here is the fact that they claim that there was an understanding between all of them that they would take and sell the couch when they all moved out and then split it 3 ways. I'm not sure why they made that agreement in the first place, but I mean, that it would be a nice gesture to sell it and then I guess give them their part of the money at some point in time in the future, but I don't know. I don't know that this is, I would have to know the terms of their agreement originally, but I would say that N does not own that couch.
Well,
Simple.
Yeah, I think if they saw it down the line, it would be the kind thing to give the money then.
Mm-hmm.
But N cannot steal the couch and sell it. I think it's fine to move it in storage, but honestly, they could also have just been like, this is not your couch. If you try and sell this, we will report you to the police.
Yeah.
I mean, it might just be easier. Somehow moving a whole couch might just be easier than, getting the police involved. They don't want to burn a bunch of bridges, but yeah, roommate N is definitely doing some thieving behavior.
Grand theft couch.
Yeah.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Not Sam 57 says, not the jerk. A is the one that got it through their work. So the possession should be A's, not N. N shouldn't be the one that decides when the couch gets sold, especially if it's communal property. And Sweetheart 69 says, exactly, it was A's connection that got the couch in the first place, and trying to claim it now makes no sense. And Not Sam 57 says, I'm guessing that N wants some extra cash, split or all of it, as N probably won't see the others again. And Knows Little says, moving out, didn't tell anyone else, they were 100% planning on keeping the cash. Moving is expensive, $2,000 would be a big help. What do you think? Do you think N was trying to sell the couch?
I mean, well, you mean take all the money?
Take all the money, rather?
That was my guess from the beginning. I hadn't even considered the possibility that they were splitting it because of the way that they listed everything shadily.
Yeah.
Maybe now that they've been caught, they would split the money, but I thought they were just going to take the money and run.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression that I got from reading it as well. It seemed like a take the money and run thing. And Whole Fuzzy 5152 says, not the jerk, and do give us some updates. Edit, thank you for the upvotes. But yes, agreed. If N had a problem about the amount received for selling the original couch and not getting enough to cover the expenses for the truck, they should have voiced it earlier. I repeat my earlier sentiment. OP, pull a Houdini and magic that couch away. And Bull City Boomer Sooner says, it's A's couch, end of story. Everyone else just helped A move it. As for N's old couch, if N sold another couch, did they share the proceeds with everyone else? No, because that was N's couch. This is A's couch. Well, I mean, I also think that the logic is a little weird because, like, it means that anytime you help someone move,
right, you're then suddenly entitled to their property.
Yeah.
Like, I just think A is being amazingly generous by offering to split anything at all. Like, they would be well within their right to just be like, hey, this is my couch, but you can use it.
Yeah.
And, like, that's still a great benefit to the apartment.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so
a $7,000 couch, I'm sure it goes a long way towards making the apartment a nice place to sit in.
So, you know, N is just being really greedy here, and that's not a good look.
No, not a good look at all. Speaking of hiding things, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Hiding Toilet Paper from My Roommate? Well, about a year ago, I moved in with a friend of mine who needed someone to live with to help them cover expenses. When we first moved in together, we agreed to split everything 50-50. This included our household objects and necessities. Things as simple as going halfsies on a broom for the house, or taking turns buying essentials. For the first few months, there was no problem. My roommate has always had everything paid for them by their father. He was happy to pay their half, while I worked full-time to pay mine. Our rent was cheap, so there was never any problem paying that for me or for her. However, in the last couple of months, I've become increasingly angry with how little she contributes to our household essentials. She started texting me while I was out shopping, asking if I could get a few things that we needed for the house, since she wasn't out, and at the time I always said sure and ended up picking up whatever she was talking about. Well, she had quite expensive tastes, so I tried to match the things that she would get for the house, including the same dishwasher detergent, paper towels, and toilet paper. The toilet paper that she would always get was quite expensive, but I felt that it was only fair that I got the same one since I was able to use it when she bought it. Well then, after a few months, I noticed that I had bought our last 4 packs of toilet paper that we had. I don't have it budgeted to pay for the toilet paper every single time. On the 5th time of me buying toilet paper, I got a cheaper brand. When I brought home, she was quite upset, saying that she would have to wipe her butt with sandpaper. I decided that when we ran out of toilet paper, I would not buy more until she did. Well, it turned into not having any toilet paper in the house. I went out and I bought a pack of toilet paper just for myself, and I hid it in my room and in my bathroom, which is an attachment to my bedroom, and her bathroom is not. She continued to make little remarks about how we have no toilet paper and how we needed toilet paper and how she was on her period. I told her that I had bought the last few rounds and that it was her turn to buy it. She ignored me and still did not buy the toilet paper. Well, one day when I was out, I came home and she had a roll of toilet paper that I had purchased in her bathroom. I knew that it was my toilet paper because it was the brand that she claims that she would never buy. I took the toilet paper back and I put it in my bathroom, where it was missing from coincidentally. I asked her if she went into my room and into my bathroom, and she claims that she did not. Well, when I was out buying groceries last, she texted me and told me to get a toilet paper roll. When I came home without it, she was quite upset. I feel as though I'm being completely reasonable, but this might be a lot of work over some toilet paper. So, am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. It seems like a very unfair arrangement where OP pays for all the things when OP has less money. I'm also wondering if roommates is like pocketing the money her dad's giving her, because I'm assuming he hasn't like reduced his contributions.
Yeah.
So, because that's the only reason I can figure why she would be so stingy, because she's not the one paying for things. So it might also be worth enlisting her father and letting him know what she's been up to.
You know, that might be a good idea to contact the father and explain the situation. I think that this is just a difficult roommate situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clear that the roommate is going to try to take advantage of OP. And so I think that OP, the best probably way of resolving the situation is to have a equal contribution or have some kind of contribution fund that she can pay into that you'll buy, stuff from, right? And that way if she wants you to go grocery shopping for her, then you have this money in this account that you can use and use her money to buy stuff, right? And then at least you can get away with maybe reducing the friction in this household situation.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine that living in a household with this kind of like stress is going to be great.
Well, no, I mean, it might be time to start thinking about other living arrangements too. You know, if she's acting like this, it does not seem like this is a beneficial situation for OP at this point in time. And if it's kind of like lost its charm, it might be time to start looking elsewhere.
Yeah, and maybe a new roommate situation is exactly what's needed. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Aurora Mendez says, not the jerk. You're just enforcing the agreement that you both made. This isn't about toilet paper, it's about respect. Your roommate needs a reality check. You've carried the burden silently until now, and something's got to give. It shouldn't be always you pulling out your wallet. The solution is painful. She needs to simply start paying her own way and adjust her expectations. This isn't petty. It's about establishing basic respect. Consider creating a shared expense tracker and have a serious sit-down conversation about what split everything 50-50 truly means. I mean, I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And OMG0309 says, not the jerk. And I would go a step further than a shared expense tracker. When you first moved in, Daddy was paying the roommate's expenses. So either he's put his foot down about giving her so much, or your entitled roommate has decided to pocket the extra cash and you get to pay the difference. I would get in touch with her dad and start seriously considering finding a new living arrangement. Life is too short to have to jump through hoops like that. But having to constantly lock your doors gets really old really fast. I mean, I think that's kind of funny how those two comments basically said everything we said.
Yeah.
Shared expense tracker and talk to the dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably the most sensible advice anyways. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk? I Won't Pay My Ex-Boyfriend's Wife. Long one, so I'll try to stick to the details. About 2 years ago, 2023, fall/winter, I, a 28-year-old female, met an older man, a 42-year-old male, on a dating app. He said that he was divorced and had partial custody of his kids. I didn't look into it because I was naive. Spoiler, he was fully married and having an affair with me. I only found out recently. We dated for about 5 months, and he definitely love-bombed me and bought me expensive gifts. Tiffany necklace, Coach purse, hair salon gift cards, etc. And we did 2 trips to a ski resorts. He paid for all of it, my plane ticket, the resort, the ski passes, all food, etc. We also usually ate out about once a week at a more upscale place. He also gave me $3,000 for a down payment on my car to help me get a safer ride. I knew that it was a lot, but he said that he had the money and he was happy to help. He told me that he worked remote for a finance business and he traded crypto. So it was a whirlwind, very fun and exciting. Near the 4-month mark, I asked about meeting his kids and eventually he shut it down. Said that they don't take well to girlfriends, and I said okay at the time, but it didn't set well. At about 5 months, I told him that I wanted to be sure that we were in the same place about potentially meeting each other's families and starting to integrate our lives. He said that wouldn't be something that he could see happening, so I broke it off on good terms. I just wanted more than a boyfriend for dates and trips. I wanted to work forward in a partnership. Well, fast forward to last month, so about a year and a half after we moved on. His picture was posted on a Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group. And I said we dated a few years ago. He was great, didn't seem to be looking for anything long term. Well, then I got a DM from someone that I didn't know. She told me that she is/was his wife. They are separated because she found out that he was cheating on her. I told her that I was very sorry to hear that. She asked when we were dating and I gave her the months. She thanked me and said that it helped her move on to know that there were others. Well then, a few weeks later, she messaged me again. She said that she was looking through the credit card statements during the months that him and I were seeing each other. And there were thousands of dollars put on the card. She asked if I had ever gone on the trips with him, and I was uncomfortable, but I said yes, I went on 2 ski mountain trips. She told me that he had said that he was going to go for alone time, but it makes sense why it was so much money now since I was there too. She told me that he was unemployed for years, and it was all her money that he was using, and tied it to her credit card. Well, again, I told her that I was very sorry. It was a long time ago. I sincerely didn't know about her, and I had moved forward. She then said that she was expecting me to pay for half of all the expenses on the credit card for itemized things like an airline charges, the resorts, the restaurants, the stores like Tiffany's and Coach and others. The amount that she gave me was ridiculous, like $12,000. I told her that I did not have that kind of money, and that it was all presented as a gift with no intention of being paid back, and that I would not be paying her that money. So am I the jerk? I feel terrible because I can't imagine her pain. And I'm sure that this is part of her coping mechanisms, but she can't really expect me to pay that, right? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, absolutely not the jerk. Now, I'm not 100% sold that this is indeed the wife, but even if it is, that, OP was under no obligation because they were told this was a gift. If the husband did scammy things, it's on him to deal with that fallout.
Yeah. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, I think that you put it quite simply, and that is the way it is. Like, he is the one who made these purchases. This wasn't OP. He treated her, and these were gifts. I mean, if this is the ex, which I don't think it is, I seriously have my doubts, then this is a situation that she should be contacting the ex and working out that, the finances and stuff like that with him. Maybe she can't get blood from a stone, but she shouldn't be trying to get money out of OP either. OP in some ways was a victim of the situation as well.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to be in an established relationship. She wasn't trying to be the other woman, right? So for this woman to come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, this is your problem and your fault, I just don't think that's reasonable at all.
No, I agree completely.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the blouse say to the chatty jacket?
Oh, the blouse said to the chatty jacket that they want to, have a little bit of a clothing free time.
Zip it.
Zip it?
And it's National Zipper Day.
So go find yourself a zipper and then zip up and zip down, zip up and zip down, and make sure to do it a lot of times around somebody that you like to annoy. I'm sure that it'll go over very well.
This is Brian's bad advice.
Courtesy of Brian. Tell them that Brian sent you. And I have matcha, the special guest tea. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy terrific Tuesday, folks. I hope your Tuesday is off to a terrific start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on hiding things.
It's one thing to hide things from a grabby roommate. It's another thing to hide important personal matters that your partner should be informed of.
Yes, like whether or not you're really married or not.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.